Yeah, really proud of the squad because it obviously has been really challenging. We all know COVID's hit and impacted on various parts of our lives, but we've worked really hard to keep the athletes going through this time, both in their well-being side, with being in lockdown and not being able to train for a period. But then once we did come back into venue, making sure that the environment we put in place here was really safe, and that we're obviously trying to avoid anyone getting ill, and obviously doing our part there as well from a wider society point of view. But they've been able to keep going and progress and still train, which is really good. Bit of a lack of racing for us across last year. We've not been raced internationally since 2019. But the important thing is to obviously have been keeping the athletes training and feeling like they're motivated and progressing. So challenging, but I feel like they've all done very, very well in what they've been able to do.
Just picking up on a couple of points there. Firstly, the mental health. I mean, I guess that has been a bigger issue over the last 12 months. What sort of things have you done to tackle that?
It has. Obviously, we've got a range of ages of athletes as well on the programme, some very young athletes, obviously away from parents and away from home. So the team have worked really hard, our psychologists, our performance wellbeing coaches and the coaches themselves, to put things in place for them. So we obviously got equipment out to them in terms of the lockdown so they could still do training. We had regular video sessions for them online. Regular checks in with the coaches, and just re-establishing that purpose really. But I think throughout we've always tried to make sure that we put that at the front and centre of everything. And yeah, I'm really pleased that most of the athletes have come through that so far anyway in a good place.
And then the other thing you mentioned there was competition. I guess that's been really difficult for you. How have you managed to replicate any semblance of competition?
Yeah, well, it's obviously the main motivation for our athletes. They absolutely love, racing and competing. So it has been a challenge. We have a really strong squad here, so that internal competition we've tried to really maximise, as well as our performance analysis and that side to try and tell them where they are. When you're not competing against, your foreign competitors, it is a bit hard to know where you are. So we've worked hard on that front. But we've also put on our own internal competitions, some race simulations and things like that to try and bridge the gap a little bit. But yeah, it is the next step for us now. We do want to get out and compete internationally, obviously in a safe way, and looking forward to doing that as soon as possible.
And where are you at when it comes to the Europeans? Where do you assess the squad?
Like I said, our measures are internal, or have been internal, with our data and various things. So it's a little bit of an unknown, but we have to take confidence from the level we know we've been, in recent years. Use our evidence from our physical, technical analysis to give that confidence to athletes. But ultimately, we'll have to go out and obviously see where they are come racing. But they should take confidence, like I said, from the squad that we have.
The Europeans are on a natural river. Is that another challenge that you're having to face?
It is. Obviously, we're here at Lee Valley, amazing venue, but it is a different style of venue, certainly to the river in Ivrea, Italy. So it's not a venue we've been to. I haven't even been there before myself, so it's not a venue that's been on the circuit that often at senior level. We've got quite a short lead in as well to Europeans from the safety side and when we're going out. So it will be a challenge, but the skills that they have, these athletes, they can adapt to the sites pretty quickly. So I'm sure the time on venue will be, we'll use that well.
Of course, the ultimate is the Olympic Games in Tokyo this summer. Have you managed to plan for that? You must have ripped it up and started again so many times.
Yeah, we're on about the fifth version, I think, of the plan. I've spent a lot of time, in 2019 and before 2020 started, putting everything in place. Particularly the travel to and from Tokyo. We're a venue-specific, sport, so that time on venue was going to be really important. That's obviously been shortened now with, a lot of the camps that we were going to have on Tokyo not taking place, just an extended games period. So we've really tried to maximise here, like I've said, in terms of that preparation. But been constantly adapting to news and information that's coming out from ICF to change our plans. So obviously dealing with knowns is the main thing and focusing on the A plan at all times, but we've absolutely been messaging about being adaptable and be ready to change plans as they come up, but take confidence from the preparation we have here more than anything.
It is at best an unpredictable sport, and even more so this time. Can you have any assessment as to where you're standing in the summer for the Tokyo Games?
Yeah, well, we know obviously like I said, the measures we have in and around our training, where our athletes are physically compared to where they would have been in the past. Athletes have made good progress in different areas. Similarly, on the technical front, now it's about that race, the mental side and the racing that we want to move on over this next period. So the Europeans will be a start of that. But we feel like the guys have made good progress and are in a good place, but it's the foundation now heading into the season where that peaking towards games will take place.
And after such a long time away from competition, what are your emotions thinking ahead to the summer in Tokyo?
Well, really excited, to be honest, because we want to get back into the racing again. You feel for the guys in terms of having to have these constant changes with plans, but we have to just focus positively on what we want to go and do there. We're very fortunate to be doing it at all in the climate. So really excited, to be honest, and I know it's going to be a huge challenge to put on, safely for everybody. So we want to make sure we go in there and operate safely with the athletes and give them the best platform to perform.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mark.
No worries.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's fantastic.